We're on.
Okay, this is an example of a Linux desktop. This is running on my my computer here. This is running a newer, more experimental version of the operating system, so there are some more visual effects than a lot of versions of Linux. But one of the big advantages to Linux is there are many varieties of it. There isn't just one strict version of it. So if you want a version that's more trimmed down, more business-like, you don't want the flash, that's very easy to come by. If you want a version that has things like, you know, the animation on the windows, or you can flip between screens and it looks like a cube, all of those options are available to you. You can get a stripped-down version, you can get a more advanced, flashier version, and they all have similar functionality. Now I have OpenOffice.org here, which is an Office program similar to Microsoft Word. It does the vast majority of what any other Office suite would do, a Microsoft Office or WordPerfect Office, anything like that. There are also programs for images. These are images off my digital camera. We can look at thumbnail images of everything in this directory, so we can look at different pictures. You can organize it like any photo organizing program. Also, we have video from same digital camera. This is just stuff I shot, and it's, you know, full motion video. We have PDF pictures. There's really all of the functionality you would find in a system like Windows available for free. But there are also some other things. If you look, there are some special effects involved here. How do I get it back? Here we go. So the window effects are a little more advanced with this one. If we want to take a look at all the applications running on all the desktops I have here, we can take a look, and you can see all of the running applications, and I'll show you. As you can see the animation there, all of that is still running, and you can see that running on the back side as well. This is a Linux distribution, which is basically a collection of the Linux operating system and the applications that is more geared toward the visual effects. So there are a lot of things. There are DVD programs, stuff to author DVDs, there's audio programs. This is a little more cutting edge and a little more, well, when I say cutting edge, that's really a good term for it, because it's got all of these special effects. It lacks a little bit in the stability, but that's a trade-off I have chosen for this. If you get another operating system, you may get the special effects and have no choice in the matter one way or the other. With this, I've chosen this particular distribution because it's got some of the features I wanted to see. At home, I run a server on Fedora Core, which is another version of Linux. I might be moving that to Slackware in the future. There are lots of different versions of Linux that are available to you depending upon what your needs are. And this version of Linux, even though this is, you know, meant for, you know, a more fun, more, you know, interested in the special effects, there are a full selection of applications available. So we've got Office type applications. Let me go through the Office applications here. There are several different word processors. There are several different spreadsheet programs. I can pull up a spreadsheet here. This is, again, one of the Office.org spreadsheets. I don't have any example data, but this works as if an Excel database, you know, an Excel spreadsheet, rather. And it's just a very simple spreadsheet. Has most of the functionality that most people will typically use in their spreadsheet. Trying to think, I really should have had it better planned out. What else would you guys like to see?
I've got some questions.
Absolutely, I'd love to answer questions.
What would you recommend for somebody who is just, you know, wants to get their feet wet, but, you know, they don't want to have to maybe you know.
That's an excellent question. There are several distributions called live distributions that come on a CD. You can put that CD in the drive in your existing Windows computer and run it without disrupting the Windows environment you have. Some of the examples of those is actually Sabayon, that's S-A-B-A-Y-O-N Linux. That's this one, and this one you can run off a CD, and you can see all the special effects like the transparent desktops and all of that stuff. is all available on a live CD. There's also one called Knoppix, which you can download, put into your CD player or your DVD player, and have a full Linux experience running on your machine without having to disrupt your existing Windows environment.
Well, does it boot off of that disk?
Absolutely, it will boot off
So
of that
it's
disk.
not going to run Windows. It's just going to run on your Windows machine.
Yes,
a
it
Windows
will.
enabled machine, and it's just going to be a separate operating system.
It is a complete separate operating system that you can, and as you said, all you have to do is have your computer boot off the CD. Most of them are set to do that by default, or you might need to hit a key or change a setting to make that happen. And the websites where you download these, you can very easily get those instructions. You put it in your drive, you boot the machine up, and you get into that operating system.
Would you be able to run the same software that's run on this distribution
Absolutely.
on that distribution?
Absolutely. One of the big differences is, though, since it's not using your hard drive, if you make changes to the environment or save documents, unless you save them somewhere like a USB key or an external disk, they're not going to be there when you start up because you're running off a CD. You don't
Right.
have a whole hard disk available to you. But you can very easily take an existing machine, a laptop or a desktop, put one of these CDs in, do work, save your data to a USB stick, and use it just like you would any computer. Because it's running off the CD, it's usually a little slower, but for that trade-off, you can try out that environment in its entirety without paying anything and without messing up your computer.
Can you run off of hard drive?
Absolutely. This is
So then you would be able to save files.
Oh, sure. Like
Okay.
this
If you
here
install.
is one of those live CDs, which you can boot off of, installed to my hard disk, and